The Zephyrian command ship Dominion's Edge hung in the void like a metallic cathedral, its kilometer-long hull bristling with plasma cannons and quantum torpedoes. Admiral Kex Thara's four eyes studied the tactical display with growing confusion. The blue marble below Earth, the humans called it, showed no orbital defense platforms, no military installations in space, not even a basic early warning system. "Tactical analysis complete, Admiral," reported Lieutenant Vailtar, his chitinous fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "The planet possesses minimal space-based infrastructure, a few communication satellites, some scientific probes, and that's it." Kex Thara's mandibles clicked in disbelief. The Zephyrian hegemony had conquered 47 star systems over the past millennium, each requiring months of brutal warfare against sophisticated defense networks. Yet here was a species that had achieved faster-than-light communication. They'd intercepted human transmissions 3 solar cycles ago, but appeared defenseless. "Perhaps it's a trap," suggested Commander Nixala from her position at the strategic console. "The Carillions used similar tactics in the Proxima campaign, minimal orbital presence, to lure us into range of planetary defenses." The Admiral's tail twitched with impatience. "Then we probe their defenses. Launch reconnaissance drones. I want to know what these humans are hiding." 3 hours later, the drones returned with even more puzzling data. Earth's surface revealed a patchwork of nations engaged in primitive conflicts with chemical explosives and kinetic weapons. Their most advanced military technology barely reached their own moon. No energy shields protected their cities. No particle beams defended their skies. "This makes no sense," Kex Thara muttered, her voice echoing through the bridge's crystalline chambers. "How did they achieve quantum entanglement communication without developing proper weaponry?" Dr. Zinpek, the fleet's xenobiologist, materialized his holographic presence on the bridge. "Admiral, my analysis suggests these humans developed along an unusual evolutionary path. They appear to prioritize scientific advancement over military might. Their technology focuses on exploration, communication, and survival." Survival? The Admiral's laugh was like grinding metal. What survival skills could possibly threaten the hegemony's finest warfleet? Before Dr. Zinpek could respond, proximity alarms shrieked across the bridge. The tactical display erupted with new contacts, not warships, but something far more troubling. "Admiral," Vailtar's voice cracked with panic, "I'm detecting massive movement on the planet's surface. They're launching everything." Kex Thara stared at the display in bewilderment. Thousands of primitive rockets were ascending from Earth's surface, not military missiles, but civilian evacuation craft. Crude, chemical-fueled vessels that should have been torn apart by their own planet's gravity. Yet somehow, they were escaping Earth's atmosphere in unprecedented numbers. "How is this possible?" she demanded. "Our intelligence indicates they barely achieved orbital flight decades ago." Dr. Zinpek's image flickered as he processed incoming data. "Admiral, they're not fleeing randomly. This is coordinated. Every major population center is simultaneously launching evacuation vehicles. They're using a distributed manufacturing model, thousands of small facilities producing identical escape pods." The truth struck Kex Thara like a plasma bolt. "They knew we were coming." "Impossible," Commander Nixala protested. "Our approach was perfectly stealthed." Not from their quantum communication network, the Admiral realized with growing respect and frustration. They'd been monitoring every system within 50 parsecs. The moment we entered this galaxy, they began preparing. On the view screen, Earth's evacuation continued with mechanical precision. Families cramming into barely adequate spacecraft, children clutching homemade environmental suits, elderly humans accepting cramped hibernation chambers. No panic, no chaos, just the grim determination of a species that had somehow calculated the exact probability of survival and acted accordingly. Admiral Veltar reported, "Our long-range sensors detect similar evacuations across multiple systems. They're not just abandoning Earth, they're abandoning everything." The implications hit the bridge crew like a shockwave. Humans weren't defending their territory because they had no territory to defend. They had transformed their entire civilization into something the Zephyrians had never encountered, a nomadic species capable of abandoning everything at a moment's notice. Dr. Zinpek's voice took on an academic tone that somehow made his words more ominous. "Admiral, I believe we're witnessing an evolutionary adaptation unprecedented in galactic history. These humans have developed what I can only describe as survival culture. They've sacrificed permanent infrastructure, military might, even comfort all, to maximize their species' ability to escape extinction." Commander Nick Sala studied the evacuation patterns with growing unease. But where are they going? Those ships can't sustain life indefinitely. "That's what makes this brilliant," the Admiral admitted reluctantly. "They don't need to sustain life indefinitely. They just need to survive long enough to reach the next system, establish temporary colonies, and repeat the process. They've turned their entire species into seeds." The evacuation continued for 18 hours. When the last human vessel disappeared into hyperspace, Earth stood empty, not destroyed, not conquered, simply abandoned. The Zephyrian Warfleet found themselves masters of an empty world, while their intended prey dispersed across the galaxy like cosmic pollen. Kexthera stood before the main view screen, studying the planet that had taught her the most important military lesson of her career. Humans didn't need warships because they had something far more powerful: the absolute commitment to survive at any cost. "Set course for the next target system," she ordered finally. "Admiral?" Veltar's confusion was evident. "We'll find them eventually," she said, though her voice lacked conviction. "But now we know what we're really fighting. Not a military force, a biological imperative that refuses to die." As the Dominion's edge turned away from the empty Earth, Admiral Kexthera realized that the hegemony's greatest victory might have been their first defeat. They had learned to conquer worlds, but the humans had learned something far more dangerous. They had learned to endure.